Title: I saw the prince walk out of his tomb. I saw him walk out of the tomb 3 nights after we buried him. His body should have been rotting, but he looked the same, and he was smiling. My name is Kofi. I grew up in a small village near the Volta River in Ghana. I'm not supposed to talk about this, but I'm old now, and I can't keep it in anymore. This happened in 1997, when I was 16. It started when the prince died. Prince Kojo was not a good man. People feared him more than they respected him. He was the chief's eldest son and was supposed to take over the stool, our word for the throne, one day. But he was cruel. He beat people for fun, took what he wanted: women, food, land. The elders said he had a dark eye, meaning something evil lived inside him. But nobody could touch him. His father protected him. The prince acted like a god in the village, and if you crossed him, something bad always happened to you or your family. Cows went missing, huts burned. Children got sick. People whispered that he went to the old forest, the one we were told never to enter, and made a deal with something in there. One day, he just dropped dead. No warning. He was 28. They said he fell off his horse, cracked his head on a rock. I didn't believe that. The whole village felt like it breathed for the first time in years. People sang quietly that night, but nobody said anything too loud. We were scared to speak bad about him, even dead. We buried him with gold, beads, and his favorite spear. The tomb was sealed with thick mud and big stones, like the old way. 3 days later, I saw him. I was walking back from the river after fishing with my uncle. It was dark, and I took a shortcut through the trees. The tomb sits on a small hill by the edge of the village. As I passed it, I heard a sound, like heavy breathing, then stones moving. I stopped. I swear on my mother's grave, I saw a hand push a stone aside from inside the tomb. The same hand I saw holding that spear on the day of the burial. It was smooth, no rot, no wounds, alive. I ran, didn't look back. That night I couldn't sleep. I didn't tell anyone. But I wasn't the only one. 2 days later, a woman disappeared. Then a baby. Then a goat was found with its head twisted off, like someone snapped it with bare hands. Then I saw him again, near the edge of the forest. He was standing, watching the village. Same face, same clothes, but his eyes. They were empty. Not dead, just nothing behind them. Like he was wearing his own body like clothes. I hid in the bushes until he left. The elders met in secret. I heard from my uncle that they went to the forest with white chalk on their faces and old bones tied around their necks. They came back with cuts all over their arms and faces. They never spoke of what they saw. But the next day, the prince's tomb was burning. No one dared put it out. The fire lasted 3 days. But the grass around it never caught flame. Just the tomb. After that, the sightings stopped. For a while. But last year, my cousin told me something. Her son went into the forest on a dare. Said he saw a man standing still among the trees, wearing beads, holding a spear, smiling. We never found that boy. I don't go near the forest anymore, and I never walk by that hill after dark. If you ever visit the Volta region and someone warns you not to say the prince's name at night, listen to them. He may be dead, but he's not gone. The thing about our village is, once something evil happens, nobody talks about it for too long. People act like silence is a kind of protection, like if you don't speak it, it won't find you. But evil doesn't need your words. It listens anyway. 2 weeks after my cousin's boy went missing, strange things started again. Chickens died in the night. The dogs stopped barking after dark. You'd wake up and find them shaking, staring toward the hill. One night, my uncle told me to walk with him. He carried palm wine and his old machete. We went to the chief's house. Inside, the air was heavy. 5 elders sat on mats, whispering. There was a bowl of ashes in the middle. My uncle told me to sit and keep quiet. The chief's voice was weak. He said, "The prince's spirit is not resting. Someone fed him while he was in the ground." My skin went cold. Fed him? The oldest elder looked at me and said, "You saw him first, didn't you, Kofi?" I nodded. He sighed. When a wicked man dies, his spirit looks for a door to come back. A door can be blood or a promise or fear. You saw him. That means he saw you. I didn't sleep that night. A few days later, we found my uncle's machete on the path to the forest. Just the blade. The handle was gone, like someone burned it off. He never came back. That night, I heard drumming, soft at first, then louder, coming from the forest. I looked out my window, and there was firelight flickering between the trees. Then I saw him again, the prince. He was walking toward the village, dragging something behind him. It looked like a sack, but it was moving. I closed my window. In the morning, there was a smell in the air, like meat left too long in the sun. Near the stream, we found the sack. It wasn't a sack. It was my uncle. The chief called a man from another village, a spiritual one. He came at night with a gourd tied with red cloth. He told us to stay inside. We heard him chanting all night, shouting, then silence. When morning came, he was gone. His gourd was cracked open by the hill. The prince's tomb had fresh handprints on it. After that, people started leaving the village, one by one. Some said the prince would follow us if we spoke his name again. Others said he only stayed where his bones were. I left too. I live in Accra now. But sometimes, when it rains at night, I dream of that hill. I dream of him standing at my door, smiling, asking me, "Why did you leave me hungry?" When I wake up, there's mud on my floor, always fresh, always wet. And sometimes I swear I hear drumming, coming from outside. Part 3. The Prince Waited. Told by Kofi. I hadn't seen my village in 20 years. I told myself I moved on, that the fear was in my head, that maybe I just imagined all of it, the tomb, the prince, the bodies, the drumming, but I was wrong. Last month, my aunt died. She was the last of my blood in that village. I didn't want to go back, but something in me said I had to. Maybe guilt, maybe fear pretending to be bravery, so I went. The first thing I noticed was how quiet everything was. No kids running around, no goats, no fires burning, just heat and silence. Most of the village was gone, roofs fallen in, dust in the air, but the hill was still there. That red dirt path still led to the tomb. I shouldn't have gone up. I know that now, but I did. The tomb was cracked open again. The stones looked like someone had pushed them out from the inside. I stood there for a long time. Then I whispered his name. Kojo. Nothing. I turned to leave, and that's when I saw the pious drum. It was sitting under a tree, old leather, blackened wood, tied with red rope. Just like the ones used by the forest people, the kind used for summoning. I backed away, fast. I got to my aunt's hut and locked the door. I told myself I'd leave in the morning, but I didn't make it to morning. I woke up to someone whispering my name, not shouting, not calling, just whispering, over and over, from outside the hut. "Kofi, Kofi, you came back." I stayed frozen. Then, knock, 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 on the wooden wall behind me, not the door, the Abakma wall, where nothing was but thick bush. I got up, shaking, and looked through the crack in the window. He was standing there. Prince Kojo, same beads, same smirk. His skin looked perfect, too perfect, like he hadn't aged a day, but his eyes were black, not from shadow, from something deeper, something hollow. "I waited," he said. "You opened the door. Now I'm coming in." The door burst open on its own. I don't remember what happened next. I woke up in the bush, 2 kilometers from the village. No shoes, no bag. My left arm was bleeding, 3 thin cuts like claw marks. I walked all the way to the main road and hitched a ride back to Accra. That was 2 weeks ago. I've been trying to sleep since. I can't. I keep hearing that drum. I can't find where the cuts came from, but they don't heal. Sometimes I hear whispering in my apartment. I live on the 3rd floor, and I still hear a knocking on my window at night. He followed me. The prince isn't buried anymore. He walks. He waits. And if you hear drums in the night, don't answer.